The James Webb Space Telescope happens to have one of the most complicated journeys ever attempted by humans. To build this spectacular technology, NASA had to part with $10 billion as well as bring in countless people to work on it. The telescope launched on December 25, 2021. Even though it faced a lot of delays and more cost than expected, it is the most complex and most powerful telescope that had ever been made and launched into space. This telescope's expectations are quite high for this time machine in space, and one of them has been a question with no answer among scientists. Could there be other life outside of ours out there? Do aliens exist? There may be life on the Hycean planets, and the James Webb Telescope just might discover it, but the question remains, can it really do that? If so, how will this discovery change the way we view the universe? Hello and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to have a look at whether or not the James Webb Telescope can discover aliens. Before we continue, please give the video a like and subscribe for more amazing videos. And with that, let us find out whether the telescope can discover aliens. Scientists only had one shot at making the telescope launch a success, which they did. Now, the Webb telescope now orbits at Lagrange, 2.1 million miles from the Earth. Once the James Webb telescope is fully online and starts peeping into deep space, it will be another instrument for astronomers to give the cosmos. It is equipped with spectroscopic equipment, which will give it the ability to stare out into space and see objects that are far away. It will give sharper and clearer images than its predecessor. The Hubble Space Telescope did, most of all, it will change our knowledge of exoplanets. As it helps us learn about the origin of the universe, it will also try to figure out where else in the cosmos we can live. Scientists will attempt to look back millions of years in order to answer the question of our origins. However, as the telescope does that, it will also try to discover which other planet has life. Mostly, this will be done by investigating the atmospheres of exoplanets as they look for the building blocks of life anywhere else in the cosmos. The Webb is an infrared telescope, but how does this affect the discovery of other exoplanets? In recent years, astronomers have found planets outside our very own solar system. This has been facilitated by the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, TESS, and the Kepler Space Telescope. Through a process known as the transit method, they can look at the brightest stars in the sky and detect variations in brightness whenever a planet passes between them and us. This is a very great accomplishment when it comes to scientific observations, but it does not really tell us more about these planets. What is the estimated size? What is its mass? These are some of the things that these telescopes do not answer. To know what a planet looks like, we have to know whether it has an atmosphere. We need to understand what it is made of and whether there is any cloud cover in the sky. We also need to know if there is any water present. We cannot just look at these planets on the surface. We need to go deeper, and that is the main purpose of the James Webb Telescope. However, it is no easy technological task. This telescope has received collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency (ESA), and the Canadian Space Agency (CSA). The Webb telescope power cannot be compared to that of the Hubble telescope. Webb is so much more powerful than Hubble, allowing it to see the tiniest features in the deepest part of the cosmos. More so, it will do this with superb resolution. We cannot forget the fact that the Hubble telescope has greatly helped us in learning about exoplanets, but the Webb telescope will help us understand them better by providing more details. Hubble would mostly work in visible light wavelengths, taking photos within the visible light range. However, the James Webb Telescope will use infrared wavelengths which can even travel through the dust. This will allow scientists to have a clear view of the cosmos. Hubble and Webb will also collaborate to gather complementary data on the same targets. One of the things that James Webb will do is look for any sign of life on the Hycean planets. You may be wondering what Hycean planets are and why scientists believe they have life. To understand the Hyceans, you must first understand exoplanets. Exoplanets are planets that revolve around their own sun, but they are not in our solar system. According to astronomers, there are billions of these planets out there, and they are quite difficult to detect because the stars they circle are brighter than they are. There have been about 4,000 exoplanets discovered to date outside of our solar system. Scientists have tried to determine whether these exoplanets can support life, and as they did so, they considered whether they are located inside the habitable zone of the stars that they orbit. This is the zone where the planet is close enough to the star to support the stable presence of liquid water, and maybe even support life. However, most scientists are focusing on the Hyceans. Hycean planets happen to be hot with seas and have an atmosphere that is mostly hydrogen-rich. This makes them easier to detect and study as compared to our sister planets. Some of the Hycean planets appear to be larger and hotter than our planet. According to experts, they may contain large oceans suitable for sustaining life that was discovered in early Earth and can survive in harsh ocean habitats. One of the most interesting things about these planets is that they have a wider habitable region than Earth. This means that even if they are situated outside the zone where our planet is supposed to be able to sustain life, life can still survive. The James Webb was created to utilize the exoplanet characteristics at the forefront of its design principles. For example, when Webb wants to aim at a star, it will point at the pixel with very high precision and stay still. Researchers can then precisely quantify any dips in brightness that may indicate the presence of a planet in orbit. Given this degree of accuracy, Webb can perform its most impressive exoplanet-related function, which is to try to determine whether or not an exoplanet has an atmosphere and what constitutes the atmosphere. Webb's capabilities are said to be transformative since present detectors were not meant to detect exoplanet atmospheres. Webb has 4 sensors that use infrared wavelengths to look at the universe. The first 2 are the Near-Infrared Camera, NIR-CAM, and the Near-Infrared Spectrograph, NIR-SPEC. The Fine Guidance Sensor / Near-Infrared Imager and Slitless Spectrograph are looking into the near-infrared region. Finally, to examine the wide variety of far-infrared wavelengths is the Mid-Infrared Instrument, MIRI. Webb is floating around with complex technology, from sensitive infrared detectors to the tennis court-size 5-layer thin Kapton sunshield to protect the instrument from any solar radiation. This allows the telescope and detectors to reach the cold temperatures required for them to carry out infrared observations. One of the interesting reasons for studying exoplanet atmospheres is to try to figure out where else in the cosmos that life can survive. Webb will try to discover the beginning of life also. There are more exoworlds out there than we thought. However, knowing just the mass and size of a planet is not enough to determine whether it is habitable or not. Not all planets that are the same size and mass as Earth can support life. So, to determine whether a planet is habitable or not, we also need to take a look at the atmosphere. It is important to know what sort of atmospheres are normal for planets our size if we want to estimate how many planets out there are habitable. We also need to find out which type of atmosphere is formed by nature. As Webb witnesses the first galaxies developing, it will not only look at exoplanets but also try and find out the beginning of the cosmos. We are only scratching the surface with this new technology. With the first year of research operations already scheduled, it is definitely going to be a game changer. But do you think that it can discover aliens? What other discoveries do you think it will make? Feel free to let us know in the comment section below. Also, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.